If you smell what the rock.
Recording live from 3. Count them 3 locations. This is Past the Rock. And we are back after a week off. And I am joined by 2 great men. Caesar, aka LCs, and Jacob, aka Bethke.
Hey, listen, ladies of DFW, unlike Dak, I won't get cold feet at the altar. Just know that.
Fair.
And I'm like 90% sure my microphone's on.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, that's beautiful. I kicked that bitch when we started, and I just was hoping for the best.
Yeah. So we were out a week. We'll catch y'all up this week. Yeah, I think a lot happened in the 2 weeks, but not so much that it's impossible to cover both. So we'll be good. Before we get into the big news of the NBA that's currently happening and the NFL, which is trying to currently happen, I did want to check in on some international baseball because I know you guys are just huge fans of international baseball competition.
I mean,
listen, I love the World Baseball Club. I don't know what to tell you. Big fan.
It has been. It's always fun, I think. But we're seeing. Before we get into the specific issue of the day, we are seeing a trend of the American team just not having him. I don't even know if it's commitment to it as the other countries, in terms of getting the best out there, making sure they're out there, and trying your hardest. It's like they thought they were the dream team for some reason, even though they haven't won in at least 6 years or whatever. I don't even remember if they won 2017. They probably didn't.
Yeah, I thought they were talking a lot of shit.
Attitude that the team seems to have. Interesting, they hired a manager who doesn't know the rules and isn't really a manager elsewhere outside of this team. So I don't know.
What?
Yeah, so if you weren't aware of what the situation is with why the USA might not even get out of pool play, despite going 3-1, because they thought they had already clinched their spot and just didn't try against Italy until they kind of found out middle of the game what was happening, and it was too late because they're already down 8-0. Because runs allowed ends up being the tie. It's like runs allowed per inning is like one of the top tiebreakers, if not the top tiebreaker.
So that's why I saw the talk on the internet was, have Mexico and Italy.
Mexico and Italy are playing
1-1 tie.
If Mexico can win by scoring 4 runs or fewer, then the USA is out. And then there's some other ways that it can happen where if they go extra innings, I don't know all the math on that. But yeah, so if Mexico can win 4-0, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, something like that. The problem is if they score more than that, I think then they kick out Italy.
Okay, well,
because
this is me.
All these teams will be 3-1, and they'll be going for it's not run differential; it's runs allowed per inning.
That's weird, but I'm here for it. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and just say red, white, and green solidarity. Let's both make it through Italy. All right,
it'd be funny. I wouldn't be that mad because I'm upset with the team for being stupid.
Who's the best player on the American team right now?
Aaron Judge. I mean,
he hasn't even hit. I think I saw something where he hasn't hit a ball off of an MLB player in this tournament.
Oh, that might be true, but they haven't really played any.
Yeah.
Look, starting a 17-year-old high schooler.
Yeah, that is pretty lame. But I mean, how often is this? Is this every 2 years?
It's supposed to be every 4 years, but I think because of COVID, there was some weirdness in there.
Oh, okay. So
didn't we just have one last?
So yeah, so the one happened in 2017. They didn't do it in 2021, so they did it in 2023. Because of COVID stuff.
And that's the one Japan won. Am I remembering right?
Yeah, Japan beat us. Mike Trout struck out by Ohtani in the 9th. One of the maybe the most iconic international baseball moment we have because there just aren't a ton.
Well,
that is electric.
That is disappointing, but
we'll see what happens. Like I said, Mexico and Italy are currently playing while we record, so we'll likely know maybe by the end of this, maybe not.
So who does better, U.S. baseball or
We should also discuss how this turn.
U.S. baseball or who?
I should froze for a second.
U.S. baseball or U.S. soccer?
Oh, yeah, it's tough. The baseball team's way better than the soccer team is, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm
But
asking.
who's going to be the? Yeah, who's going to do better?
And then did I have anything else here? I don't even remember. Let me check my rundown again. Real smart guy. Oh yeah. So then trade deadline did happen. The Stars made a couple of pretty good depth moves, really. Cheap rentals. The thing, and we're about to, especially when we get into the NFL free agency talk, we're going to talk about cap stuff. The way the NHL works is when you sign your contract, there's an average annual value, and that is impossible to change throughout the life of the contract. So each year is set to the average over those years for your contract, which makes NHL cap management a lot more frustrating and interesting and hilarious that they make fractions of what NFL GMs make when they have literally no rules. Not literally no rules, but significantly fewer. So yeah, the Stars added a couple good depth pieces. They're still rolling. They're the hottest team in hockey right now.
This is the first time we've got to talk about the Texans, right?
Yeah. So we I'll just pull up. I don't want to make sure I got to make sure I remember exactly what draft picks Jim Nill gave away. Yeah. So again, we're able to make a couple of good depth moves without giving away any current players. And just future picks for drafts we kind of don't need because the team is so stacked for the future. So yeah, you got Tyler Myers, the first and Texas-born player to start for the Stars. Technically, he plays for Canada and stuff, but he was born in Houston, lived there for like 8 years, 10 years.
Why the fuck does he play for Canada? You can't make our roster. You can make theirs.
To Canada as a kid.
Yeah, but like
that's just. He's been playing up there with Canadians for his whole life, so
that's the most Canadian thing ever to think you're,
I don't know, man. I get it. He's the start of what will eventually be a larger group of Texan-born players in the NHL. Not the start, but he's part of the slow build. But it's gonna happen. It's a lot bigger here now than it was obviously when he was a kid, or else he wouldn't have moved.
Yeah, no.
And he was in Houston, so. That they had minor league hockey down there. I can't remember. Did they ever have an actual NHL team? It's possible.
No, I don't think they had an NHL team, but they probably had some sort of.
I know they had some minor league hockey.
I mean, I grew up with the Waco Wizards. I mean, I'm sure they had something.
So yeah, they had the Houston Aeros in the AHL for a long time, but I guess they're not there anymore. Anyways. But yeah, and then we also added Michael Bunting, who's just a nice solid depth piece. Is going to fit in nicely. Don't even worry.
Name ruined on hockey though, unfortunately.
Yeah, unless you want to go with the noun bunting, which is just like ribbons and stuff, and there's probably some of that somewhere in hockey. Like the stuff they put on baseball, like the.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The more you know.
Okay.
The Stars are the hottest team in hockey. But
goddamn right.
Roope Hintz came back and immediately got hurt the very night he came back. The night
goddamn right.
The talk is we hope he's back for the playoffs, which likely means second round at best.
Damn.
So that's tough, especially losing him 4 hours after the trade deadline. It's like, well, what are you going to do about that? Hope he gets back. And yeah, they're still chilling Colorado. Colorado's still very good. The night that Hintz got hurt, we blew a lead to Colorado, including missing Jamie Benn missing an empty net that would have sealed the game, and Colorado ties it and beats us in a shootout. It was with our old backup goalie. That's always fun too. It was fun. I can't wait for the playoffs. We're gonna have to play them at some point. It's gonna be wild.
This is really unfortunate because I feel like this is like I keep beating the dead horse with this franchise. But I need signs of not choking, and then you're only ever reporting back to me choking here.
And that, to be fair, those are the ones that I'm going to remember. I'm not remembering.
But that is the game that matters. If
Not
there's a game of the season that matters, there are a few regular season games that feel like barometers.
Standing wise, that was a big one if we were going to catch them, which we're probably not going to now. But I don't. Ultimately, with the way the playoffs are set up, I don't think it matters that much because we're going to play them in the first or second round anyways. So
no, the NHL, it's very consolidated.
And then also, neither team had any of their new trade acquisitions playing. So that means we've got some very different teams that will be meeting up a few weeks from now, months from now.
It's nice that they're as good as they are, despite all of the stuff that's happened in the playoffs, because that could break a team. So instead, they just keep riding it. And then
Wyatt Johnson set the Stars record for power play goals in a year with still like 15, 20 games to go.
I like that. He's supposed to be the record holder, right? Like that'd be the goal long term, is just Wyatt Johnson all over those books.
Oh, he's got to be the next captain within the next year or two. I don't know what the plan is for Jamie Benn long term, but it's not long term. I know that. Yeah. And the Stars, finally, they're one of a few teams that had never won more than 8 games in a row. They finally got to 10. They've never done it before, so that's cool. It was an interesting list, though, because I think the Detroit Red Wings are on there also, and that's one of the best ever franchises long term.
And so they hadn't done it?
They hadn't gotten past 8, I don't think. 8 or 9. That's pretty much what's going on in the Stars world of hockey. If you haven't seen it, I'll send it to you guys. The clip of Malkin on the Penguins karate chopping someone with his stick to the neck.
Oh my God.
Game suspension for that one.
Oh shit!
Probably could have caught an assault charge. That was pretty wild. And that's basically all that's happened in hockey. We'll move on to the next.
I was going to say, are these things? What's the first playoff game? March 11th? No, March 11th now.
Today. May 11th, maybe?
No, I just populated that in my dumbass Reddit instead of comprehending it. All right.
April 19th.
April 19th. So yes.
That was last year. So around that time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I was looking, is because I didn't know how affected it would be due to
regular season ends April 16th.
Due to the world champion Kashet Patel friended U.S. hockey team.
Well, time to ball. I don't have a cool song lined up for time to ball, but I should.
It's something to work on in the future. But for now, we're regularly just going to keep going on with this little breakdown of the divisions. But it was a pretty big week outside. Actually, it really wasn't until last night, when all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up and I'm being told that somebody's potentially going to break Kobe Bryant's record tonight. And then I was like, okay, 60 points is 60 points. And then I'm like, okay, let's see what's going to happen next. I keep looking. All right, now we're at 80 points. There's a decent amount of time on the clock. Homeboy's still in the game. Clearly, this basketball game has never been. There's so much evidence in the box score of this never being a serious basketball game that I'm like, well, if this is ever going to be the moment.
Yeah.
And sure enough, after 2 free throws, someone has now wedged themselves in between Wilt Chamberlain and Kobe Bryant on the all-time points scored in a game list. And it's not Luka Doncic. It's not Nikola Jokic. It's not SGA. I guess not that high volume score. KD is not that high volume. I don't know who else. Maybe Giannis. Probably. Actually, Giannis really. I do wonder why Giannis hasn't done this one yet. Because now
it's not Devin Booker.
Not Book.
It's not.
Book came close. You're right. Book did at 70 at one point.
Watch out. Wemby's gonna do it.
Yeah, Wembanyama would be a good candidate.
48 in like 3 or 4 years. Put Wemby out for a full 48 minutes against whatever trash the Hawks have thrown out there. And then
The new second place and maybe first place, depending on how you really want to look at the record book, in points scored in a game is Bam Adebayo. Idris, as his mother would have named him.
Bam.
Big Bam, as we know him. Bam Monte, as he's also been known.
How much did this extend his life in hip hop music as a reference?
Bam?
Yeah.
Oh,
like I'm sure
It's
someone
gonna have to go now.
fun name that works well, but now you can forever.
I don't know if this is the best time for it to have happened. When Kobe scored, when he scored, rap was in just an incredible era, like with the internet. It was so easy for Kobe to be put into a legendary status where I don't know that you could right now. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to be referenced more than he ever would have been prior. That's 100% sure. Rick Ross was probably the only one else to do it at this point, because maybe Denzel Curry, who else is a Miami guy, but
I think it transcends like that. This is something that anyone could. I mean, Jid likes to do. Lil Wayne will always do an athlete shit.
Actually, Lil Wayne's a great candidate.
I'm sure that someone on Griselda will do it. Maybe.
Yeah, they're old heads though. They like to do like throwback players from the 90s and 2000s. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one for sure. Oh my God, it's just funny because I don't think I don't think that anyone would have seen this one coming, but he did do it a lot like Wilt did it, if we're being honest. We wouldn't have had the 3-point line, and I don't know that Wilt would have ever actually attempted anything that far out, but it's possible in that game. Like he was sort of a sideshow. You know, that game was almost, if it did happen, which I know there's a lot of people who don't believe it happened, but if it did happen, it almost certainly happened as a publicity stunt for the league.
It feels like at this point, someone would have stepped forward to be like, look, we made this up.
Yeah, and that's why they did, but they didn't, like it's probably just as simple as that this was sort of just like this game, a happy accident that people understood could be potentially good PR, probably at some point in the game or prior to it, right? 83 points for Bam here. I don't know if I've said that. 3 things I think you need to understand about this game. Number 1, this is in Miami. That's always just a positive thing. Kobe did that in Toronto, so I mean, you have to think about that.
Stat keeping, although I guess points.
And he had one defender the whole game too.
I don't think Kobe had one defender the whole game.
Was it not? Is that Jalen Rose always plays it off like he was on Kobe the entire time?
No, everybody who's ever played in that game has hyped up that game. So no, there was no way one defender was defending somebody who scored that many points. The coach at some point would have had to have tried something else. He would have been stupid. So yeah, that was a big one. Miami's been running high octane offense all season. Bam has been a better 3-point shooter through this season. He's been a better scorer this season. He's been the feature component of this offense all season. These things are new. These things are important to register and into why this happened. But the most important here is a double whammy from the opposing team. Patrick, if you actually want to try to pull up the box score from last night and look at the Wizards, and if you could get like age, I don't know if Basketball Reference would do that. If you have weight, that would be better, but I don't need weight because I can watch the TV. This was a very skinny and very young, as in like Jaden Hardy was probably one of the older guys playing basketball for the Wizards last night. That was important to the equation as well, because if you go to watch the highlights, all you really need to see is the first quarter, right? I'm going to put up that one just to start. So this is Bam's stat line for just quarter 1. This is 10 of 16 from the field, 31 points, 6 of 7 free throws. There you go. Put that on the internet. 5 of 8 from 3. The most important part, obviously, is that he had a really good efficiency. 5 threes in a row, or 5 threes in the first quarter is a big part of scoring 31. So that's a big part of this that let the whole staff and the whole arena know that this skinny, youthful Wizards team pretty much had no chance to actually stop Bam Adebayo if he chose to just go as hard as he would want to in the game. Then we moved to quarter two. And then you're betting on things. Maybe this is the point where you think that the bet's not as good. 3 for 8, 12 points, mostly on free throws, and doesn't hit a three. So then you get to the second, and it's 4 of 11, 19 points, 10 free throws. At this point, it's the same strategy. Now they're throwing 2 guys. Now they're doing whatever, and the fouls are just not like the fouls are just going to keep racking up because these are a bunch of kids who have barely played NBA basketball, and they all maybe weigh 150 pounds soaking wet, and they're barely 200 pounds soaking wet, and they're all above 6'4", right, 6'5".
I don't think Basketball Reference is going to let me easily look at every single person's height on one page.
No, probably not. They don't make enough money for all that. So yeah, I mean, even at this point, you're not exactly thinking it. And then here's the fourth quarter stats where 14 of 16 free throws came into effect. A little bit of help from the refs there for sure. Only 7 points earned from the field there. Although obviously fouls earning it, it gets a little ticky-tacky. It's a little weird. I believe it was however math that is, 43, I think, was the total of made free throws.
Yeah, so the name of what people like to call ethical basketball. So Wilt had 32 free throw attempts when he scored 100,
which is actually pretty impressively low. But he used to average a lot of free throws.
Kobe's 81-point game, he only shot 20 from the stripe.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe's game is also just hard to compete with because he did it with a shitty team. He did it with needing to win a game and being in a game. But at the end of the day, it's not the most ethical basketball either,
What did you want to know about the weight and height of the Wizards?
No, just the age, honestly. If you could tell me the age, that like even the average age of the Wizards guys, or if you even just could tell.
So the oldest one was born in 92, Anthony Gill.
Yeah. Okay. So
2 from 2006, 2 from 2005, 2 from 2004, 3 from 2003.
Exactly 20-year-olds.
Yeah, or if I sort by experience, 1, 2, 3, 4 rookies on the team. 1, 2, 3, 4 second years on the team. That's 8 of your 12 plus.
There you go. That's the math I was looking for.
Yeah. So Anthony Davis not counting. Trae Young, is he playing right now?
He did not play in that game, but he is back playing with the Hawks.
Did D'Angelo Russell play in that game?
No, D'Lo is on the roster. Probably won't report.
Did Anthony Gill play?
I think he did actually play.
That means, yeah, the most experienced player is only on the 5th year in the league.
So yeah, that's pretty incredible. Yeah, that's why it happened. I mean, the highlights are pretty funny. Like I said, Bam did fine in the first quarter, but then you could just tell that there was literally nobody with the physical size to actually stop him in this game should he choose to just run it up. And instead of getting easy baskets, he ended up just getting hacked a lot, racking up very easy fouls. Again, none of these kids are physically developed, and he's at his athletic prime at this point. So, very interesting there. Anything you guys have about that? I mean, it's notable. I don't mean to piss on it. It's just funny because of the way it just feels like a product of how bad some of these teams are by the end of the season.
As Steve Kerr said, we need to play 10 less games.
I just appreciate it.
It's cool. I think it's cool.
It's fun. I think.
By the way,
there's a little bit.
God damn it.
I think the stat nerds are a little frustrated right now because they should have thought this one up. They should have seen this possibility. Instead, they're too in love with all the glitz and the glamour. Well, maybe not Bam specifically, but maybe like just the idea that a more physical player in their prime, should they in this version of basketball choose to, there is a lot of rosters that are very young, which means a lot of them are not athletically built for the physicality of the NBA yet. All of those kids are on that. Washington literally is playing a bunch of guys who may in 3 or 4 years be that full and big enough to stop him and slow him down. But at this moment, none of them are, zero. And so it's just one of those things where instead of, jacking up shots, it was just kind of simple. Like he did shoot a decent amount, but it was mostly just from 3. Otherwise, attack, and hit those free throws, which also a great free throw shooting night. I mean, we don't talk about that enough. The NBA is very frustrating, especially from your 5. Having your 5 do the 4 or 5, they could play a little big, but
yeah,
one of your bigs.
Biggest guy they had out there was Julian Reese. Did he even play?
No, I don't even know who that is. He's probably on a 2-way.
6'9", 230.
Yeah, and the Wizards are not playing anybody like Sarr is the tallest guy, I think.
Under that, you've got a bunch of like 6'5" guys.
Well, Sarr played, and Sarr's big.
Yeah,
but he's
not. Besides him, or Tristan Vukovic, did he play?
Vukovic is big. Yeah, he played.
But yeah, that's about all your size. You had a couple guys under 200 pounds out there.
Yeah, exactly. So this one was really funny because it's literally just like what these guys might do to a bunch of day camp kids. And that's kind of what happened last night. Not to be super offensive to those Wizards players because they got put in that position.
This is definitely a record KD should be going for.
Oh, he has no interest. Yeah, KD's the greatest scorer of all time who doesn't want to score. It's too much scoring. But the last point I wanted to have on it is to go watch the Mind the Game podcast for anybody. I thought that the officiating has been a big point of conversation since Bam did this, and it's only been 24 hours. But a lot of conversation on it. Almost all of it's pointed towards the free throws, and that's fair. I thought that those guys did a really good job of breaking down the modern officiating situation is what I would say is the best summary of it. It's a lot of them sharing a lot of the same gripes that we have as fans. A lot of them just explaining their confusion and consistency. I think that's probably the most important thing is that both guys sort of and they take actual clips and they use them on the show. And they show you real clips from this season, even from games that just happened. LeBron references one with your Spurs where they got away with just a really silly inbound violation. But it's just the carelessness of the game, the way it's refereed now, was sort of the point. And so it's just interesting to talk about the carelessness, or more importantly, and what I've talked to you guys about a lot, is the inconsistency, where this is how it's going to be all regular season. And then as soon as the playoffs come, the same rules don't apply. We're back to playing bully ball. And we're back to playing the basketball everyone expects because everyone's watching now. And I think that's frustrating for a lot of the players and coaches and front office people is just the fact that there's 2 different seasons. Everyone calls it that. And they think that we're referencing just the injuries and the games played and all of the travel. But it's really, and the intensity, it's really just the referees. It's 2 seasons because it's 2 different styles of refereeing.
I see this a bit in hockey too, where in the playoffs, there's a lot of just swallowing the whistle unless they absolutely have to make a call.
Yeah.
But obviously it's different. In hockey, you're literally taking a player off the ice when you give a penalty. So,
but free throws can change the game. This is the big part of why the 2006
for sure.
Yeah, this is why Mavs fans will die on the hill of 2006. Free throws matter. So
defense also matters.
Defense also matters, yes. Not playing guys that are about to retire on a prime 25-year-old, 6-year-old Dwayne Wade, also decision. But yeah, that's really all I had on that one. We are going to usually look at the standings this week. I didn't really want to bog us down with that. It'll be good though. 3 weeks, we'll see really some big differences from last time we looked at it. And then the Atlantic update, just to go over all of the divisions we have gone, if anything happens major. I think for the only thing of the Atlantic for me right now is Jason Tatum has returned to playing basketball. It hasn't always been perfect. We say why?
It's wild.
Oh, it's wild. No, it is wild. And he looks slow, but he looks good. And because Jaylen Brown is a fringe MVP candidate this season, it really does allow Jason Tatum to sort of just play a very significant but simple role and then just slowly expand upon that as he can.
Which, so, yeah, I think if he was coming back in the playoffs, he'd be exerting a lot more effort, but he doesn't need to. So,
well, I think that he can't. I really think this is about just being smart. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think what you're saying is if he would just if he was to start this process in the playoffs, it wouldn't help anyone at all.
Yeah,
this process starting in March, I would give them the benefit of the doubt, but I agree. I'm trepidatious about it, but if you're going to do it, I do agree starting it in March and slow rolling it into it, because as much as shit have we talked about Kawhi, there is a formula there now that the Clippers have sort of been like, as best as the Clippers have been able to use it to keep him on the court, they have. And so I think you should try to mimic that a little bit.
Invest in carbon off-put tree companies and.
Well, not that part. I mean, that part you might be doing too, but at least from the medical terms, there's some stuff you can learn from Kawhi there. But and obviously KD actually had this actual injury, but he did wait the time as an older player. So either way, that's all the update is. Now you can throw up the Northwest Division.
This is gonna be a funny way to do this, but it's gonna look better this way, I promise. Okay.
It's all right. I liked it.
Oh, there we go.
So you didn't get the in between.
So this is a division we may not be talking about too much longer, as it might start to look like a normal division again after the realignment. For now, though, we do have the Oklahoma City Thunder playing with Denver, Minnesota, Portland, and Utah. This is also funny because Minnesota is just about as, just basically far north of Oklahoma City. So geographically, there's just a lot going on with this particular region. But the basketball has always been pretty decent for the most part, I think, especially since the Oklahoma City Thunder have come together. That's been a pretty good division to watch. At this point, you're looking at Oklahoma City, Minnesota, then Denver, Portland, and Utah as far as how they're ranked in the standings. You're looking at Utah's done. I actually didn't check if anyone's been eliminated yet, but Utah's basically done. Portland will be in the play-in. What they do with it, we'll see. Minnesota and Denver, we really need to discuss. Then Oklahoma City is just sort of still the juggernaut they've been. We'll start with them. Their best storyline is that the most games missed. I believe that might have been passed at some point, but they are the most games missed for most of the season. And it doesn't matter because their depth is so stupid that even listing 10 players isn't really enough. Like, there's still 2 players not listed here, maybe even 3 that get regular rotation minutes. So it's just an insane embarrassment of riches. J-Dub, Hartenstein are not playing. J-Dub's been out for a while. Hartenstein just sort of at the moment thing.
Utah's not quite eliminated yet.
Yeah, no one's eliminated yet, right?
The Pacers.
Oh, okay, just the Pacers. That's
15 and 50.
It took long enough.
Probably be eliminated. 15 and 50.
It took a while, dude. Like that silver line is funny. That getting that 10th ranking is pretty funny.
What's weird is that's the Hornets and they're 500, so it's not like it's.
But I think it just gives you a lot of statistical leeway.
Yeah.
And then I guess the worst storyline for Oklahoma City is, does anybody care about how great this team has been? Not even to poo-poo it. It just doesn't feel like we're in the midst of a incredible dynasty, but like we might be in the midst of an incredible dynasty.
We're in the first year of an incredible dynasty, I think.
I like where you've stuck yourself. Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that there are other young teams that can handle themselves against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
First team is even remotely as successful as the Duncan era. I don't see them rattling off like multiple in a row. There's too many good teams.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good teams. It just feels like the depth of what Oklahoma City has built, coming off the fact that they've already won one, is just kind of embarrassing. It's just incredible. I mean, usually you
don't have any high first round picks in the future.
Well,
What do they have, like 7 still?
they could still technically get like the number 1 pick in this draft, but they likely
That's
won't.
disgusting.
They likely won't.
Presti's a genius.
So that would need the Clippers would have to fall out of the play-in, and then that pick would then have to convey.
Probably gonna be tough.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen at this point. But yes, it still technically could. Obviously, an injury could change that.
Left, and they're only 2 games up on Portland at the bottom spot. But the gap between Portland and Memphis. Okay, yeah, they're not falling down that far.
So then they would have to lose in the play.
They're 9 games back for Memphis.
Yeah, the only way the Clippers, I think, would convey that pick to, especially in the top of the lottery, would be an injury that probably would be sustained in the play-in, and then they would drop out of the top 8 that way. Otherwise, I do think they'll get in to the actual playoff too. So that's kind of Oklahoma City in a nutshell. Second best team actually right now is Minnesota. Denver's it's not quite perfect in Denver right now. Not quite perfect in Minnesota either, but this is pretty good. Ants continue to evolve. You're looking at him as the point guard on this, but it's really just sort of the way they play. Dante DiVincenzo is not your traditional 1, but he might be listed as the 1 from time to time. Ant's going to be your primary ball handler. McDaniels is a lockdown defender. Randall is also a capable ball handler, as well as being a big, and then obviously Gobert is who he is. But what I do like about this team is their bench allows them to bring in 2 guys in Bones Highland and Ayo Dosunmu that actually can play those positions. Bones was a former lottery pick, I believe, from Denver. Didn't really pan out. Looked like he was done in the league, and all of a sudden this year he's really caught on and saved his whole career, really. And then Ayo Dosunmu, they got in the trade at the deadline, and now a team that struggled in the playoff last year with just not having enough playable playoff guys has 3 guys now with Naz Reid included that I really like as far as giving them good run, giving them good interchangeable parts to go with what Ant does and with what Rudy can do defensively. And then you look at Terrence Shannon and you look at Kyle Anderson at the end of that, and it really gives you some faith. You also have Mike Conley, who came back after getting traded in a whole bunch of moves. So they have a little bit of optionality and a little bit more depth than they have since the Carl trade, obviously, even though I guess that's just we're in year 2 now. But this has been a fairly successful group, and I think Ant is playing at the top of his game. So I am very interested in this roster, and the fact that they've gotten a little deeper, I do really like. But I'm still a little worried. It just doesn't feel like it's quite the level you need, especially when we're talking about the embarrassment of riches Oklahoma City has. Then we look at Denver. The best storyline from here is Jamal Murray is finally an all-star. He won a championship. He's been a part of one of the most lethal 5-man units in all of basketball this decade, basically. But had never been healthy enough to be an all-star, and he was. The worst storyline at this point is that the Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson trade has not quite paid off the dividends they hoped it would, and it almost feels like could be the beginning of the fall of the empire here. It's worth noting that Aaron Gordon has been injured for most of the season. He has returned. Peyton Watson, another very interesting defensive player especially, has been injured for most of the season. If they're healthy, that might work out. They did get Bruce Brown back. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been decent there. They signed Tyus Jones. So there's some interesting players going with Jokic here. But ultimately, there is a little bit of concern going into the playoff that the Denver Nuggets, as we've known them, could be potentially ejecto cedo button because they're kind of out of options as it has currently stood.
Yeah.
Portland's been pretty good. Denny Avdia and Donovan Clingan are really good players. Shaden Sharp has been injured a lot of the season. Scoot Henderson was injured most of the season. At least one of them is playing now. Dame Lillard has been out all season. He's not listed here because of my assumption is that they will allow Drew Holiday to find another home one way or another next season. And Dame Lillard will play the starting point guard at that point again for the Portland Trailblazers. Although it's possible they also allow Dame to look around at other options if he wants, because he's basically their franchise guy forever now. So they'll work in that partnership together. A lot of good here. You know, Jeremy Grant has sort of went from being their best player on a bad team to being just a utility guy, and I think fitting his value a little bit more in the NBA. Tamani Kamara has been really good. They made a solid little move for Vit Krejci, who's a very good high level rotation player, in my opinion. So it's a fun unit. My guess, my worst headline for them is: are they a little too mid, a little too soon? Potentially sneaking into the playoff, hurting some of those lottery odds. It does make you wonder. But when you've been sort of bottoming out for a few years, the fans are never too upset to have a scrappy team with some young talent that has a lot of interesting potential you can buy into. And that really has been what the Portland Trailblazers have been this season. Don't look for them to be too surprising. But like I said, it's very nice that Denny Avdia and Donovan Clingan have panned out the way they have, because now it starts to shape an identity for whatever the next era of Portland basketball looks like. Same for Utah. I think the best storyline has been Keontae George, local Dallas kid, helping to make the Jazz feel like they can invest in Lauri Markkanen. They went and traded for Jaren Jackson Jr. They already were being a little nefarious this season. Walker Kessler, the starting center, potentially defensive player of the year candidate. They just ended up scrapping him almost to start the season. So now we already kind of knew the tank was on. Like I said, George ends up playing really well. Their rookie Ace Bailey's pretty good. Isaiah Collier even has been showing out pretty well. Filipowski, another rookie, has been good. Lauri's incredible when he plays. All of a sudden now they were having to play this should we win, should we lose thing. And then finally they traded for Jaren Jackson Jr. and people were just kind of confused at what the direction of this team was. Then it was pretty obvious once they started sitting everybody and started all these season-ending injuries started appearing. Like Lauri has sort of magically been shelved since the Jaren Jackson news came out too, basically allowing them to both tank in the most shameless of fashions, as you've probably heard much criticism of this season. Right. But if you take a step back and look at what I'm showing you there, Svi Mikhailuk might still be there, but he probably won't be a starting role. Honestly, you probably force your youngster Ace Bailey to play out a little out of position at the 2, but he'll just be a tall 2, and you'll just have to figure it out. And you probably let that 5 run, and that's a pretty fun 5 and a pretty talented one all in all. And I would like to see how that looks, especially because you would have an Isaiah Collier, who at one point was the number 1 kid in his class before kind of an ugly stint at USC with Bronny, killed it. And then now he's, revamped himself. You have Filipowski, that was a really fun utility player. Sensabaugh is a good utility player. You got some others. So as shameless as Utah's been about tanking, I kind of don't hate the game. I hate the player, or hate the game, not the player. That's kind of where we're at here. Like, kind of fuck with what Utah's doing. I hate to say it.
Fair enough.
But this season they suck. Big donkey.
Yes.
And that's really that.
West Division.
There is the next one is the Central Division.
Is that Indiana, Detroit?
It's basically us talking about the Cavs and the Pistons with a sprinkling of the Bucks, and then bless the Bulls and the Pacers.
I'm confident every day, to be honest. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Okay. You appreciate his compliment?
Say it again?
You appreciate TJ's words for it?
Sure, so that's my guy. That's my guy.
No. There it is.
Whoa.
I thought that was going to be.
How bad am I lagging? Am I still lagging?
Say 7.
7.
Couple seconds.
Fuck. And my speed is good though. Like my internet speed's hitting 150 megabits.
How many devices in your house are currently using?
I don't know what it is.
A whole lot of megabits.
Oh, well,
going
since
on.
I'm hardwired, I don't know if it really matters. But
It does.
I would say like 4 devices,
Yeah.
three phones, and one laptop. But 3 of them are on Wi-Fi, and this one's connected to the Ethernet. Okay, hold on. I am getting some low speeds here now. Okay, what the fuck?
Breaking news.
Okay. Yeah, we did actually have a little bit of breaking news, but it's not that. It's nothing crazy. But Kyler Murray is going to be going to Minnesota for a physical tomorrow.
Sweet.
Nice.
I guess that's time for
what the.
Wow.
Celsius's CT ball show. Spectacular.
Oh, we're going now.
We never stop.
We're going now. All right. So I'm gonna be lagging. I'm gonna be lagging during this segment. So forgive me, y'all. But yeah, a lot of shit has happened in the NFL. A lot. Too many transactions to really go over each one individually. But I would be remiss if we didn't start with the biggest story in free agency, which is the Baltimore Ravens and their unethical practices when it comes to trades. Or so that's what the internet will have you believe, because they did nix their trade with the Las Vegas Raiders for Max Crosby, which would have included 2 first-round picks going to the Raiders. Now, I think I was just as shocked as anybody else when that news dropped, simply because you don't usually see these high-profile trades get canceled. You see some smaller trades get canceled every once in a while. This one, though, very interesting because he did fail a physical that the Baltimore Ravens had. However, one could also argue everybody in the league knew he was coming off a meniscus tear. And another thing is, on the other side, you could say, well, the Ravens have different standards for their physicals versus other teams in the league. So, what did they do? Did they do anything wrong? Did they do anything right? They did right by themselves, right? Because once they saw, I'm sure they saw the medical, they probably had cold feet, and they saw those 2 first-round draft picks, and they're like, oh, hey, no one's gone off to Trey Hendrickson yet. Let's go get him and cancel this, and then we're just going to spin it in the PR, in the PR game that we actually wanted both guys, but unfortunately, we just couldn't pass this Max Crosby trade through because of his physical. That's if you're, on the more jaded end. If you're a little bit more somewhere towards the middle, you're like, well, this makes sense. Like this makes sense. He didn't pass. They knew something that the Raiders didn't, which is a little weird to say, or they found out something that the Raiders did not want to, be a little bit more forward with. And this is kind of how it's all shaken out. I don't know where everybody else falls on the spectrum. I know I am more leaning towards the Ravens are a little bit scummy for this. And they're playing a little bit of, the PR game, trying to make themselves look a little better. Eric DaCosta has gone to say publicly now that the initial trade or the initial plan for them was to get both defensive ends, which doesn't make sense to me, both dollars and cents and actual sense, because you're paying 2 guys on the wrong side of their careers, right? You have Max Crosby, 29 years old. He coming off this injury. You also have Trey Hendrickson, 31 years old, coming off an injury as well. You want to pay both of them big money deals? That doesn't make a whole ton of sense to me. And then also be out 2 first-round draft picks. Like, again, doesn't make a ton of sense. He's also saying that he was gutted by the fact that the trade didn't go through. I'm like, buddy, you didn't have to be gutted. You could have just gone through with the trade. But I'm not going to fault the Ravens for doing for their business. I will say, though, it is scummy. And don't be shocked, Ravens fans, if nobody wants to trade with the Ravens for the next 2 seasons. The NFL moves fast. Memories are short. So you're probably not going to be able to move up or down the draft this year. It's just simply because Eric DaCosta has burned some goodwill in the league. Gentlemen, you guys have any thoughts about this trade, or were y'all like, damn, that's crazy?
No, just selfishly, it made sense about maybe some of the rumors I was hearing from the Cowboys because apparently their doctor was the guy that was consulting on some of this.
Yes, he did. He did take a look at the MRIs.
I mean, it's one of those things, man. I hope the kid can play and be good, but yeah, I mean, 2 first-round picks in the NFL is a lot, dude.
That's not the guy on the field cowboy hat doctor, is it?
No, I don't believe so. I think this is a specialist.
Okay, good.
Has on retainer.
Because if it's that guy, they're sending the wrong guy.
No, I don't think that's the same position, but I'm sure. I guess they would work together. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Funny.
I mean,
I don't
Patrick, do you have any thoughts on what happened?
I don't know. I don't know that it matters too much. It might affect their next off season, but I think after that, everyone's just back to doing business however they can, wherever they can.
Well, yeah, probably so. Although there is one agent, and I'm going to assume it is Max Crosby's agent, who says that he's not going to have his clients sign with that team. Which, if there's one thing you don't want to fuck with in any league, really, it's your relationships with the agents, right? They have pretty good influence.
I think the Ravens organization is so respected overall that this isn't enough to mess with that.
I'm not totally sold on that because we don't really know what other teams think of each other, right? Like, we on the outside can be like, well, yeah, this is a stand-up organization, and they do things the right way. But I'm like, I think each team has some level of scumminess in the eyes of somebody else that we just really don't take into account. I personally think this is a minor black eye. Yeah, like 1-2 seasons where teams are like, I don't know if I can trust you guys, but I think everything will come back.
It's not going to be all
back to
team.
normal.
It's gonna be a couple.
Yeah. So, if anything, this definitely has soured any relationships with the Raiders. But again, it's the Raiders. It's not you. You don't usually go get big time franchise changing talent from the Raiders because they can't find that themselves, typically. So there is that. All right. So we're moving along from that because, guys, lots of trades have happened as well. I want to get into the signings, but this happened last week. We weren't able to record, but there is a new big time paid corner in the league. A move that I was really puzzled by because I didn't anticipate this happening. But Trent McDuffie gets moved from the Los Angeles Rams to the Kansas City Chiefs. And he gets paid big time. Guys, I was a little surprised that the Kansas City Chiefs would move off somebody who is, I believe, entering his age 26 season. Moving off of one of the better corners in the league. Sorry, not the Rams. But I'm surprised the Chiefs moved off of him, send him to the Rams. I'm surprised the Rams are doing this too. I was puzzled by the move on both ends because I look at that defense for the Rams. I'm like, do you have more issues than just the secondary, right? I know the secondary was their Achilles heel in a lot of games, but I mean, if you double down on your pass rush, you can make even the most average of secondaries look decent enough. And then I look at the Chiefs. I'm like, hey, aren't you guys still kind of in a Super Bowl window? Do you really want to move off this player so soon? I mean, is there something that we don't know about the Trent McDuffie like medicals or anything like that? I don't know. This one was the big move for me. That actually did went down that I thought this is a massive, massive trade. And also this payday. I believe he's getting $30 a year. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to pull his numbers up. $124 million deal is the overall worth of that contract. I don't know if you guys had any reactions to that, but if you, oh yeah, 100 million, which by the way, guaranteed, insane numbers, 31 million a year, and he is what 20. Oh yeah, the Rams sent over the number 29th pick in the first round as 2026 fifth and a 6th round selection and a 2027 third round pick. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot for one corner. I don't know if you guys agree, disagree, or you have any thoughts on this.
No, you got to do it when you're that close. And they didn't have like the impact defensive player they needed. So there you go. Now you do.
There you go.
You
Patrick,
do it all for
anything
the Stafford.
You want to? Yeah, I mean, you do want to maximize that window.
Not familiar enough with the player to comment.
All right. Well, he is an All-Pro and a multi-time Pro Bowl corner, so he's definitely one of the better guys in the league. All right. We'll move off to another big-time trade. And you know what? I don't even want to necessarily call it big-time in the sense that it's a huge league-shaking trade. It's just big-time in the story of this guy's career. And that, my friends, is Geno Smith going back to the Jets. He said they wrote him off and he didn't write back. Well, the team that wrote him off is gonna kind of ask him to write back. And be that bridge quarterback for whoever they get in the draft, if they get anybody.
Did he get was it a 1 or a 2 year deal?
I believe I honestly
just
think he's still signed. Actually, I think he's still.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. He didn't get outright released, so he's still on whatever contract he signed with the Raiders. I thought it was really funny that you said the Jets overpaid for Geno Smith. That one was really good. That was really good.
They technically did.
I mean, did they? All they did was swap draft picks. That's really it. Listen, you could reasonably expect Geno Smith to be probably in a top 23 starter at this point in his career, which for the Jets, significantly better than what they've had over the last 3 seasons. And if you want to, send him to the Wolves, feed him to the Wolves while whoever they draft at number 2 overall sits for a year or 2 behind him, if they get a quarterback, or maybe they just think, all right, we don't like any of the quarterbacks in this draft. We'll just get Geno Smith to just kind of be the vibes guy.
This is the last year of his contract.
But what if it actually works out? Do you remember who replaced Geno Smith?
Where? Which time?
When he was a failed rookie with the Jets the first time.
The Darnold?
They turned to his backup.
Is it the Italian guy?
No,
old Michael Vick.
Oh,
it was Michael Vick. That's right.
Was it Tommy DeVito?
And then they did a little Fitzpatrick, Bryce Petty, Josh McCown, and then it's Sam Darnold,
QB coach, right?
Yeah, Sam Darnold, Luke Falk, Trevor Siemian, Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Mike White, Tim Boyle, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, and Brady Cook. Finally,
and all roads lead back to Geno Smith. Oh man, what a story! I hope he does well with the Jets. Just so it's a nice little.
Oh, Jets did sign Joseph Osai. That's some bullshit. They got a couple Texas guys. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, man. But yeah, the next
looking like Mexico might not get out of the pool play right now.
Yeah, what's the score right now?
6-0 Italy.
Motherfucker. Come on, Italy. You know what? Go fuck yourselves, Italy.
Perfect in the group. They're better than USA, apparently. So.
Oh, well. Anyway, so other big time trades that have happened, guys, in that same division. The Buffalo Bills traded for, and I feel is like a gross overpay. They traded for DJ Moore. You are a team that is in desperate need of a number 1 game-changing receiver. Not that there's a ton of those, right? but you want somebody who's a number one receiver, and instead you settle for DJ Moore. You trade him to Chicago.
Technically, he is sort of a number one receiver for them because, like, since Diggs and even kind of before Diggs, Buffalo just.
Well, yeah. No, he is going to be their number one receiver. I just don't think that he is
just even in
top
terms
of the
of
line number one
franchise.
receiver.
Yeah, but just in terms of franchise history, like he might actually be one of the best Buffalo Bills we've seen in recent memory.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
since like Eric Moulds, bro.
Yeah, we'll see, right? Because
Cole Beasley.
let's
I think he was fine for a year there, and they ended up cutting him.
let's just look at his career, right?
Who else have they had there? Diggs would be the best, I would assume, since.
God, I can't remember off the top of my head. Not that
Lee Evans.
That might be their best receivers since I don't know, the early 2000s. I want to say Lee Evans.
T.O.
They had because at that point T.O. was kind of washed.
Eric Molds.
Yeah, back in the day.
Maybe. But yeah, let's look at DJ Moore's career, shall we?
Diggs is fourth all time on the Bills receiving list in yards already. So
yeah, that's not a great list, huh?
4 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, so the most productive period in DJ Moore's career was from 2019 to 2021 when he was with the Carolina Panthers. So for 3 seasons, he had 1,100 plus yards, exactly 4 receiving touchdowns. His best year came in his first year with the Chicago Bears, where he got 96 catches, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. Since then, though, right, he played in 17 games in 2024, only managed 966 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns on 98 catches, very much a possession receiver. And then this past year, didn't miss a game, and the worst year of his career ever, including his rookie year, where he had 50 catches for 682 yards. So he was definitely not used a ton in the last 2 seasons.
I'm going to blame that franchise for those low numbers.
I don't know, because he had the best year of his career with that same franchise. So I'm going to go with he just did not fit the system that Ben Johnson wanted to run this past year. And then the year before that, I mean, you had a rookie QB. You can expect your numbers to kind of be down. So we'll see. He's entering his age 29 season with the Buffalo Bills. I just don't think he's going to be that amazing. And then I do think they gave him a new contract, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he does with far and away the best quarterback he's ever had.
Oh, for sure. But we'll see if the way Josh Allen played this past season. Granted, it was kind of by necessity, right? Was spreading the ball around. So does he maintain that same philosophy going into this season, or because he played DJ Moore played with Joe Brady as his offensive coordinator before, is he going to be, more force-fed the ball in Buffalo? It'll be interesting to see. Still, I think you could have gotten him for less than what you did trade for. But again, neither here nor there. All right. Then what else? Oh, we had Garrett Bradbury traded to the Chicago Bears from the New England Patriots. Listen, that offensive line of the Patriots needs some work done. Trading your starting center away, I'm not for it, but
he's not very good.
He's probably, it's not good. Hopefully you can find an upgrade.
But the Bears just had their guy up and retire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did have their guy up and retire. So this does make sense for them.
6 years of watching Bradbury play, and there's a reason that he didn't get to stay in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I mean, they didn't trade too much for him. They only gave up a 5th round pick, I believe.
But I do like that he's the division rival guy now. This is good. This is good for the Bears trying to be the angst lords that what's his name likes them to be. What is their coach's name again?
I thought you were talking about Caleb Williams.
No, he's a part
Ben Johnson?
of it. No, Ben Johnson's over here trying to turn them into edge lords, and I think it's actually good for their brand.
100%, especially if they move to Indiana. Now, let's talk about Indiana for a second, because guys, this is one of the grossest underpays for a receiver I've ever seen. All right, Michael Pittman Jr. gets traded from the Colts to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a bag of chips. Quite literally a bag of chips. Because they basically gave him away for nothing. They just do a late round pick swap. That's it. They just decided we're gonna swap picks and we're gonna give you this guy. You could have gotten so much more for a guy who like Michael Pittman. He's gonna be 29 midway through the season, but he's still 28 years old. Had a pretty decent season for the Colts this past year. He is a big target, big-bodied receiver. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could have gotten a little bit more than just swapping picks for him. What do I know? The Colts don't seem like they're run pretty well right now. So that was one of the bigger moves that I was like, really? You could have gotten a legitimate number 2 wide receiver for
so you're buying in big on Fat Mike.
Yeah, Fat Mike's definitely got to have something planned, right?
I can't remember the third thing about this, but so Mike McCarthy's from Pittsburgh, and now they brought in Pittman. And there was another player that was attached to this, but I can't think of who it is.
Oh, there was no other player attached to this.
No, I think they're talking about they drafted Kenny Pickett.
Pittsburgh.
They drafted
homegrown / Pittsburgh identity team.
And I saw what you're
they just need to get somebody whose last name is Pitts.
They're talking about when they drafted Kenny Pickett because he was a Pittsburgh guy. Yes, look, all right, I got you. Ready? Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett because he went to Pitt. Hired Mike McCarthy because he's from Pittsburgh, and now I've acquired Michael Pittman, who's literally Pittman.
No. All right. No. Now that we've gotten these non SEO friendly teams out of the way, let's get the SEO all the way up because Bethke, your Dallas Cowboys have been wheeling and dealing in the trade market. They go out, they get Rashawn Gary from the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, dude.
For a 4th round draft pick in 2027. So you get you get a functional, solid starting defensive end.
Someone said this is the best use of a 4th round pick in a trade in a while. This is like, if you think about it, like this is the one they used for Lance, what they've used for the receiver who they did bring back. What was his name?
Mingo.
Mingo.
Yeah,
Mingo. Who was another one? They wasted a 4th on. They've been funny about wasting their 4ths. So this one actually might arguably be the one not wasted.
Yeah,
not that sexy.
Yeah. But listen, Rashawn Gary has been a pretty solid producer on the defensive end or the defensive line for the Green Bay Packers for years now, right? Just so you get an idea of what he's done since 2021, right? Where I think he became the full-time starter. 2021 had 10 sacks. 2022, injury-shortened year, had 6 sacks in 9 games. You look at 2023, 9 sacks in 13 starts, 17 total games played, 7 sacks the next year, and then 8 sacks this past year in 16 games played, 15 games started. I mean, the guy produces, right? I mean, he has kind of lived up to his 1st round draft pick status. He doesn't turn 29 until December. This is a good move by the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion.
From what I understand, he's a little overpaid, but that there is that once the league year officially starts, the Cowboys can begin renegotiating his contract the way that most teams are doing, and they've been doing because they always do. But yeah, I mean, the big story here is that the Cowboys are actually doing something to start free agency. Now, I know that there's some negative stories. Nakobe Dean chose the Raiders over us. That's okay. I actually am happy with that consolation prize that they at least offered a free agent a decent top dollar offer.
I mean, your quarterback's technically a free agent now. It can only be good for the room. It's gonna help.
It could. But then there's also Jalen Thompson, who's a really fun player that's interesting to have on the team. It means we're done with Donovan Wilson. because we also signed PJ Locke from Texas. So I'm stuck with the hooker. I got a cheaper hooker than I had last year, which is good, but I'm still stuck with the hooker. But no more Dono. Good luck for him and his next job, wherever that is. Sam Williams is back on a cheap deal. They got a guy named Otito. That's pretty cool. And then they traded 2 defensive tackles because I guess they like Otito that much. We also have Quinnen Williams and, the other guy from Green Bay, Kenny Clark. And then finally, the funniest move. One of this Tyrus Wheat, he played for us. So he's nothing. Sam Howell is the new backup quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, I think. I think Sam Howell beats Milton out in a competition, right?
Not if Jerry has anything to say about it.
I don't know, dude. I think Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell.
Yeah, no, Sam Howell definitely wins.
I think Sam Howell's the new backup quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and honestly, I think he might be the most entertaining backup we've had because.
Did he start a playoff game for Washington or something weird like that?
I believe so.
I don't know if he started one, but yeah.
Oh no, not a Washington. No, not a playoff game. No, but he did start an entire year for Washington.
Because with Joe Milton. So Trey Lance, you would watch this really exciting thing, and starting further. Cooper Rush is just boring but efficient, and it gets done, kind of. But
he beat the Cowboys in his first start in a game that didn't matter. 2022.
So then you have Lance, and Trey Lance when he looks so much like an NFL quarterback, like he could be that guy. And then he throws the football, and it's just not at all in any sort of like place the ball is supposed to be for it to be catchable, always. And then you have Joe Milton, who can just literally stand from an end zone, throw the ball the other one. But that's it. That's the party trick. And so now you have this guy who's kind of like,
look, if you could
flamethrower, he's super
pass on a punt, then having Joe Milton back there would be the best thing.
Yeah, I would agree. But at this point, Sam Howell I think he's going to be the new backup of the Dallas Cowboys, and I think he could be the most fun. Obviously, you still want the starter in, but that is a fun one. Not that I would want to root for it more. I'm just saying literally it would probably be more entertaining than what we've seen prior because he's basically what Baker Mayfield light, you know?
He is a dollar store version of Baker Mayfield.
So that would be fun just for a little bit if you need it. But anyway. The Cowboys have done some interesting stuff. Yeah, they've got a 3rd-round pick out of the Digizua trade, so that's really good too. So I mean, a good safety, 2 good trades. It is a little shitty on the whole dumping a Digizua thing, but I do think ultimately it's the right move because your team just kind of sucks and it needs a lot of draft picks. And like I'm looking at 2 first-round picks, a 3rd, a 4th, and 3 5s. And honestly, all of them probably need to be defensive.
Yeah. All right.
That's pretty much it.
All right. That's some Dallas Cowboys free agency.
You talk about the loss of Solomon Thomas?
Well, that is unfortunate, but it's probably good for him. Aaron Whitecotton was his coach, and from the Jets, he followed the Dallas, and then he went to the Titans. So now he follows him there. Good for him. He was a big part of help. Both him and Odigizua were very, very big parts of the fallout of Marshawn Nealon's death. So, all jokes aside, it is unfortunate that those guys, especially Odigizua, he had really built a brand here for a while. So, it is a little bittersweet, but it is unfortunately, I think, necessary for where the Cowboys are.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's continue on with the free agencies because we've gone through some trades. We've gone through what the Dallas Cowboys have done. Let's talk about what the league has done in terms of the signings. All right. So we're going to start off with I'm going to go based off the biggest deals on Spotrac track right here. So the biggest contract signed so far in free agency, Jalen Phillips going from Philadelphia to the Carolina Panthers on a 4-year, $120 million deal. That is a very rich contract for a guy who's never really produced at a level that warrants that kind of money. But hey, the Panthers have money to spend, and a lot of the times you're paying on projection. You project that this player will earn this money, so we'll see if he is worth that money for the Carolina Panthers. as the Philadelphia Eagles try to figure out what to do at edge rusher. The next deal that I did not have on my bingo card as the highest paid receiver in this offseason cycle, Alec Pierce. The Colts re-signed their own wide receiver, Alec Pierce, to a 4-year, $114 million deal with $84 million guaranteed. Disgusting for a guy who is just a number 2 receiver at best. But the Colts, again, not a well-run organization despite what you may think of when you see that logo. The Trey Hendrickson, he finally gets paid. Trey Hendrickson leaves the Bengals, gets to go to Baltimore on a 4-year, $112 million deal, $60 million of which is guaranteed. Now, he is on the wrong side of 30, although he kind of wins with country strength, okay? He's a big fella. You look at him and you're like, not like the most imposing person you've ever seen, but he is strong. He's physical. And honestly, the Baltimore Ravens, this is effectively really just a 2-year deal as of right now with the way those guarantees are shaped up. Odafe Owe leaves the Chargers, goes to Washington on a 4-year, $100 million deal. Tyler Lindenbaum, the highest paid center in this cycle, leaves the Ravens, goes to the Raiders. I know Lamar Jackson's fucking depressed after seeing this. For 3 years, $81 million. Now this one lets me know that you are a poverty franchise. Fellas, the number one indicator of is your team a poverty franchise is if they make a signing for a receiver where you're like, I wonder if I could get a different player at this number, a better player at this number. The Titans decided they're going to give Wan'Dale Robinson, which he's a fine receiver. He's okay. He is okay. They're giving him 4 years, $70 million, 38 of which is guaranteed. He's making $17.5 million per year. For a guy who should be your like number 2 or number 3 receiver? Really? That's why you are a poverty franchise. You could have gotten Romeo Doubs for that exact same number, which the Patriots will be doing because he is getting $68 million for 4 years. Now comes the big QB signing that everybody was waiting for. It is, where was Malik Willis going to go, and for how much money was he going to go for? Malik Willis, I called this in our chat, in one of our chat discussions, I feel like, or I probably also alluded to it during whenever the last time we were discussing Malik Willis on the show. He goes to the Dolphins, 3 years, $67.5 million deal, 45 of which is guaranteed. Honestly, this is kind of not a bad deal for Malik Willis. Honestly, if I was his agent, I probably would have gone for 2 years. And then hope that he balls out in year 1 and then see if you can negotiate an extension while in year 2. But hey, he's getting paid. He's getting a chance to start. I don't know how the Miami Dolphins are going to pay for this when you get rid of Tua Tagovailoa. But hey, not my money, not my problem. All right, let's go over some other big name signings. And guys, you can stop me at any point if there is a player transaction that catches your eye or that you were interested in at any point for your own team. Travis Etienne goes from the Jags to the Saints. Again, I don't know how the Saints have money to pay for anybody if they are perpetually in cap hell. And I don't think their cap hell is supposed to kind of alleviate until another 2 seasons.
I think I think they get to take the money from the collection plates from the Catholic Church.
You might be right. Now it is I believe it's the Catholic Church in Louisiana, though. I don't know if the entire Catholic congregation across the world also is donating to the Saints.
I don't know. Where's the cost of helping cover up all those crimes? So, yeah,
I'm just gonna assume that a lot of that is just from money they make here stateside. I don't know if the Irish Catholics and the Mexican Catholics are contributing to that one. Maybe the Italian Catholics. Maybe. because I've been to the Vatican, and I'm like, this looks expensive. All of this looks expensive. So there is money to be made somewhere around in this, as the Bensons probably found out.
So the Bensons are looting the Vatican.
Possibly. For legal purposes, this is a joke. Please put that on the ticker somewhere, Patrick.
No, he's serious. He is entirely serious. Everything we say on this podcast, we mean.
For audio only listeners, you can take that at face value.
They don't see the
All
parody dinner.
Now, Rashid Shaheed, who I thought probably should have been the highest paid receiver in this cycle, 3 years, $51 million to stay with the Seattle Seahawks. They get to keep their electrifying returner and big play receiver. The Rams, weirdly enough, get 2 Kansas City Chiefs corners on their team because Jalen Watson is also leaving Kansas City, though this time through free agency, not a trade. And he signs for $51 million, costs 3 years. Kwity Paye, a pretty good defensive end, not an amazing one, but a good one, goes to the Raiders. The Raiders, guys, they signed a ton of talent. And I don't know how they're going to make that work with Max Crosby to be coming back onto their books. But that's a discussion for a different day.
They plan him to stay there.
Yeah, they do. They do claim that they're going to keep him. I think that's just posturing, and I think they're going to try to trade him in season.
They technically have the space, so they can do it. But
yeah, I just think they wanted to have more space to work with than currently, right? Because I believe it counts for $40 million against their cap this season. So, well, I don't know. We'll see. Mike Evans, this one really grossed me out because I don't like to see the San Francisco 49ers make smart moves. But they went out and they got themselves probably the best possession receiver on the market and somebody who's going to go into the Hall of Fame as one of the most consistent wide receivers we've ever seen play. Mike Evans leaves Tampa Bay, goes to the Niners, but due to the electromagnetic fields that affect the health of their players over there, he's probably not going to play a ton of games. So we probably don't have to worry too much. But I am sad that we don't get to see a guy who's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, probably is going to go into the Hall of Fame. Maybe not first ballot, but, probably second ballot. Not finish his career with the team that drafted him.
Blame Todd Bowles and his terrible team game planning, play calling.
Boss bitchnesses.
Yeah.
Wait. I got an awesome one. This is an awful jersey swap. Oh, my God. This is great. Just wait for it. This might be one of the worst I've ever seen in my life.
I'm scared. Hold me. Someone hold me.
Oh, man. But first, future is Al Davis. Or not Al Davis, Mark Davis.
It's a good one. Oh, gross. I hate to see it. That's disgusting.
But I guess they didn't use AI, so that's nice. Maybe.
True, I guess. Another smart move that was made in this free agency cycle. If you're familiar with the name, it's because he's a really solid offensive lineman. Elijah Vera Tucker leaves the Jets, goes to the Patriots, stays in the division. And yeah, the Patriots made a smart move there. And you know what? One thing I didn't mention. Okay, I did mention this. They got Romeo Doubs. I want you Patriots fans to just understand something. You're not getting AJ Brown. You just lost leverage. Okay, they're like, you're saying, oh, the Eagles lost leverage because the Patriots don't need a receiver. And the Eagles can be like, you guys don't need a receiver. Why would we get off of it? You want him, you're going to have to pay a lot. And they're not, that's just not going to happen. So probably won't see a move on that end until draft day. Because if anything, it's probably going to be a draft day trade. Otherwise, I don't see that happening. So he's probably going to stay an Eagle. Let's speaking of Eagles, the Raiders did sign Nakobe Dean. I am terribly sad. Oh, what? Hold on. Let me switch it. God damn it.
He's missing all the jokes over here.
I am because I have to switch to my other tab. So I'm like looking at that. And then missing out on every other joke. Okay. So, yeah, the Raiders made an incredibly good sign in here with taking Nakobe Dean. I'm going to miss Nakobe Dean. This guy was a real baller. And unfortunately, the linebacking room in Philadelphia was too full. He's going to be a great inside linebacker for them. I wish you all the best. He gets 3 years, $36 million, $12 million a year, roughly is what his deal is going to be. The Cowboys get a safety. Are you excited? You guys got Jalen Thompson. 3 years, $33 million a year. Not bad. I don't know too much about Jalen Thompson. Don't watch a lot of Arizona Cardinals football. But if he's getting $11 million, he might. Shit. I would assume that he's worth every penny.
We got a Facebook meme here.
Ooh, I love me. What the fuck? Hold on, let me read that. Oh my god.
Not even close to the same level of trade.
Oh, that's good. That one's good. I like that one. All right. Let's go back to this. All right. So last couple of notable deals that we can go through. Reed Blankenship leaves the Eagles, goes to the Houston Texans. They get themselves a really solid safety. Not gonna wow you, but he is a really good player to have in your locker room. And then former Dallas Cowboys center Tyler Biadasz leaves Washington, goes to the Dallas Cowboys of the West, as they have been called in like the 2000s and early 2010s, the Chargers.
The Chargers?
Nice. I don't know if that comparison still holds any weight, but yeah. And yeah, there's been plenty more moves that have been made throughout the offseason. I'm sure we're expecting to see some moves made in the QB market that we haven't seen made yet. So for that, I'm talking about Kirk Cousins. We're talking about Tua Tagovailoa and Kyler Murray. These are dominoes that have yet to drop. And we did mention a little bit right before we started recording, Kyler Murray has entered the Vikings practice facility for physical. And then, of course, you have this right here. Kevin O'Connell. Goddamn. That's funny. Kevin O'Connell is going to literally look down at his quarterback and like
all three of those guys.
What's up?
What?
Yeah, you could have all. They could all three be Viking players before their careers are done. I mean, Kirk Cousins already been one. Tua Tagovailoa. Come on, you don't want that. You don't want him in there. No, I think I saw that the Falcons are interested in signing Tua. God. Oh no, he did sign. He did agree to a 1-year deal with the Falcons. That's disgusting. Yeah. Oh, that QB room is just
Cousins.
Fellas,
back to Cousins to Tua.
Like, because you have two guys who are going to constantly be in the medical tent with Michael Penix and Tua, and then Kirk Cousins. If you still keep him, you're like, he could break at any moment. He's like what 38, 39 years old at this point.
We have some statistics.
Hit me with some.
This is impressive. The Dallas Cowboys are not on this graphic. I actually would have guessed that maybe Zeke, but maybe we cut him at a different time. It didn't work, but yeah.
Oh yeah, the dead cap, $99 million. Biggest dead cap hit. Oh man.
There's also the unspoken dead cap of Deshaun Watson.
True.
That is
true. There's a lot. This is all quarterbacks except for the last two, the bottom two, aren't they? Yeah. Tough.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think the record setter was Carson Wentz, and then it has been broken multiple times over.
Yeah, that was 2021, and since then.
Yeah, that's why Daniel Jones only got a 2-year contract.
Actually, yeah. So then, yes, the Carson Wentz one you'll see is 21, and all the rest of them are after.
Yeah, and they just exponentially grow just so much.
Just because the way, yeah.
I forgot to mention. Now that I saw Daniel Jones on there, Daniel Jones signed for a huge deal. I forgot about that. He signed for $88 million deal.
It's like 50 guaranteed, though, right?
Yeah, so it can be up to $100 million. I was shocked to see that the Colts would give him such a fucking deal. He's
It's
not
2
worth he's proven himself to not be worth the money before. And now he's coming off an Achilles injury, and your team is kind of a little bit worse off than the year before. So yeah, this is why I think it's safe to say, fellas, you can put the Colts in poverty franchise territory. The days of Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, that's done. That's over. They don't have a reputation of being a well-run organization. But $50 million on the first year of the deal, disgusting. I'll be interesting to see what they do with Anthony Richardson. There's a lot still to go to happen in the first week of free agency before we get to the draft. Go. What happened? Join the Vikings? You want him to join the Vikings?
I want the Vikings to use 15 roster spots on quarterbacks. Just bring everybody in and pick one.
Just it's kind of quietly, or maybe not so quietly, since you're in the fan base, but eerily similar to the Cleveland Browns just QB list. Just
it's not as bad.
That we've had over the year.
It's not good.
Yeah, add Anthony Richardson to it. Fuck it, why not? Honestly though, if I'm gonna throw a shot out there, right? I'm calling my shot deep center field. I'm saying Anthony Richardson, fellas, gets traded for a 5th round pick that can maybe turn into a 3rd round pick based on playing time and production. He's going to be a Ram. I'm just gonna call it. He's gonna go to the Rams. Oh my God, is this the all-time bag getters?
I feel like that's not fair to Paul George, but I can't contest the other 3 either.
Well, yeah, it should be Timothy Mozgov, right?
Mozgov is a low-key one, yeah.
Like it's not as bad at the time. Like it was like the internet broke.
No, I actually Rudy that we used to work with, I remember the next day after that free agency, he's a huge Laker fan. I remember being like, yeah, I gotta be honest with you, bro. That fucking shocked the shit out of me. But that was that free agency that everybody was getting paid extra.
Yeah.
Cap bump. So there was a lot of poor decisions made that year.
You
could just put that whole draft, do that whole free agency class on the Mount Rushmore.
It's like counting. It's used for counting on the internet now. Like, you're like, oh, it's 2 Mozgovs.
Yeah. No, yeah. The Mozgov thing is bad.
Yeah. Oof. True. Very true. And we'll see who is the biggest. We'll see who's the Mozgov of this free agency period. I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be Daniel Jones. Because
yeah, I mean the only thing is that they just did it for 2 years, so like it's gonna suck, but then it'll be over.
Yeah, it'll be over. It's over now, actually, because the one thing that he's good at, being mobile, it's gone, and like he's not gonna get that back. So yeah. Good. Congratulations, Colts front office. You're poverty stricken. Sorry, Colts fans, but not really. Like I have no attachment to you guys, so whatever. Anyway, yeah, that will conclude the free agency trades talks of week 1 of free agency. If something huge breaks, I might just do like an emergency pod thing. Otherwise, we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
All right.
That's all I got.
Love you guys. Bye.